So there's an issue which is at the heart of the 2024 general elections. And this time we've had a very big figure within the governing New Patriotic Party comment about it. And we're talking about Kenny Japan, Member of Parliament, contesting for the presidential primary of the ruling MPP. He's going around the country canvassing votes among would-be delegates of the New Patriotic Party so that he will be elected as the presidential candidate to be presented by the party to the Electoral Commission for the 2024 presidential elections. He's been raising some key issues about why the Electoral Commission has made a decision in its new CI that currently is before Parliament to have only the Ghana card as a sole document to be used for onward registration. These are his words.
Ni man for any do any tema enye proud say omu free circle or mine enye ye. Look, when we are talking to an American, even Ghana near wakwaye American citizen, is so proud to hold American passport. Ghana, Monradie, bogus decisions, and I wonder those who sit there and take such decisions. So a whole Ghana passport. Mosi yakotwa baye mi enfa Ghana passport nto. We've lost our identity to national identification. What?
So you are against this?
I am against it. I am against it. I am against it. So a whole nationality. A dear Netimima me who said me a Ghana ni. I am a passport. Now, we are saying, sir, we will not even be allowed to use our passport because certain number of people, Homonia Ghanaians, are holding it. The same applies to national identification. A lot of people are holding it. Homonia Ghana for.
Eduji Tamaklo, we've had considerable concerns being raised by various sides in civil society, the minority in parliament, stakeholders in the media, etc. And having this coming from Kenny Japan, looks like the Electoral Commission needs to take a real look at its stance, its position in this new CI proposal.
You see, let me tell you. You see Jane Mensah, she's a lawyer. Bosman Asari has a PhD and lecture student. The other commissioner, Samuel Tete, very knowledgeable people. Why do you think such knowledgeable people will sit down and do something that is obviously against common sense?
What do you mean by that?
When you allow Akufo-Addo to touch you, he will destroy you. Look, what is it that Akufo-Addo has touched that has been useful? He destroys everything in his life. That is what has happened to Bosman Asari. Look, the Bosman Asari that used to lecture at the political science department will not do this. His association with Akufo-Addo is what we are seeing. So what Kenny Japan is simply saying is that, how come that common sense is running away from these individuals? How come? See, even for the sake of argument, we used to have regular CI 91, which was used to compile the 2016 the limited registration exercise. That CI had several documents because that CI was made after the Supreme Court decision in Abu Ramadan. So it took away the NHIS card. Fair. And provided your passport, provided the guarantor system. When Akufo-Addo wanted a second term, he said, look, notwithstanding the fact that it was a voter register that was used for his election, that won him the presidency, he needed his own tailor-made register. So they had to conspire to remove Charlotte Osei because she won't allow this, excuse my language, nonsense. So you know what they did? They brought Jane Mensah, Bosman Asari and co. Now look at this. Even when they came with CI 126. In that CI 126, they allow for passports. They allow for the guarantor system and they allow for Ghana card. Then a register is compiled, the 2020 voters register. The next time we woke up, after the conduct of the election, Jane Mensah now goes to sit down and say, no, even my own CI 126 that had the Ghana passport, the guarantor system, I'm no longer in favor of it. So I want a new CI. In this new CI, Ghana card will be the sole card. That is the level of madness that we have gotten policymakers to put Ghanaians through.
Why is this a problem?
It is a problem because, you see, as we speak now, we have a voters register, correct? Of that voters register, 17 million Ghanaians are on that register. Only 10 million use the Ghana card. Over 7 million people use either the guarantor system, a passport, or the document stated in the instrument, that's CR 126. So if the current register contains persons who use our passports, guarantor system, what is the basis for changing the law? Because there are basic rules when it comes to legislation. You bring new law to correct defects in previous legislation. We have asked, if the CR 126 could generate a voters register, that is the basis on which Akufo-Addo is now president. That is the basis on which today the MPs, assuming on the MPP side, are all members of parliament by reason of CR 126. So on what basis do you want to change the instrument? And look at the kind of reasons Jane Mensah is now telling us. So the guarantor system with National Identification Authority is more robust than the instrument she made in 2020. Remember that CR 126 was done by Jane Mensah. Suddenly she is saying that the guarantor system within the National Identification Authority law is more robust than the law that she... So, assuming, for the sake of argument, that the NHIS, the National Identification Authority guarantor system is even robust, what do? In principle of law, you adopt it mutatis mutandis and incorporate it directly into your own law so that it becomes applicable. So, I mean, if you look at the whole thing, it defies common sense, it defies logic. It is only a person who is under the influence of a puppet, someone who is the puppet of another, someone who is being held, excuse my language, like a dog. That is the only person who will permit such an instrument to be made.
But as far as I'm related, you're a legal practitioner. The Electoral Commission, by its own, what we have in the Constitution establishing it, it's an independent body. Thank you. But of course, in Article 42, it says every citizen of 18 years is entitled to be registered as a voter.
On 3 criteria.
Yes.
Only 3.
We'll show the document on the screen right
yes,
now.
and you see, the Constitution, the wisdom, the framers of this Constitution said, to be registered, you need 3 things: citizenship, age, and soundness of mind.
Yes.
Obviously, soundness of mind is medical, psychological. You cannot, as it were, speak to it more. So the contentious ones has always been the question of age. That's 18 years and above.
Okay.
And the question of, more importantly, citizenship. If you pick your Ghanaian passport, the first thing that is there is who you are, a Ghanaian.
So you're siding with Kenny Japan on this?
I mean, the man has come home.
What do you mean when he has come home?
No, common sense.
You're saying he's the only person with common sense?
Within them. And that is why, you see, I am getting sad each day with our political system. Look, Chairman Sabonsu obviously comes from, quote-unquote, a very rural background, just like myself. As for Jane Mensah, she was born in Airport Residential. She grew up in Airport Residential. She does not have an appreciation of the kinds of challenges we go through. Me, my place where I was born.
What's the difference? If you're born in the airport, you're born in...
No. Sometimes common sense...
You were born in Quanta or wherever you were born.
Sometimes the issue
What's
with
the
common
difference?
sense is that... The issue with common sense is that your life experiences helps you to appreciate things differently. Like in Japan. And that is why I find it... Maybe my brother here will start by defending this. But if you are coming from a very rural area, where you know that, for instance, immediately you are born, your parents will struggle and get you a birth set. The old type. I don't know if you had that kind.
Yes, I had
the
that one.
old one. In that one,
it was made void by, I don't know.
Can you imagine this?
Yeah.
How?
I took it for a passport and they said it was not accepted.
And you know the painful part? This old birth set, you have who your parents are, the year you were born. So is it not easier for you to determine your citizenship because of who your parents are? Is it not easier for you to determine your age by reason of the year you were born? Because these are the essential characteristics. For all electoral rolls, you want to avoid non-citizens getting on it. You want to avoid minors getting on it. If you have a passport, prima facie, your year of birth is in it. Prima facie, who you are is on it.
And the guarantor system. Because there are people within our outward borders who could... And even during the 2020 election
no, but
period...
Do you know the worst part of the logic? Do you know the worst part? And that is why I'm saying the problem is common sense. Do you know that you need a guarantor system to get your Ghana card? Do you know that?
Yes, I know.
So when you use the guarantor system to procure your Ghana card...
I actually guaranteed for 2
Good.
people.
So you can use the guarantor system to procure your Ghana card. And now use the Ghana card to get your voter card. But you can't use the guarantor system to get directly the voter's card. Yes. I mean, is it not madness?
You are saying that's analogous.
That's madness.
It's not.
That's madness. And it's all because a body that is supposed to be independent has allowed itself to be manipulated by Mr. Akufo-Addo and the MPP.
That's a speculation.
No, it is not.
You're
because you see, look, like I've asked you, Jane Mensah, that I know, is a lawyer. She made CI 126. She had not been able to tell us what is wrong with their own CI 126.
This is the current criteria by which the existing CI 126 allows you to be on the register.
That's the CI 126.
Now it says in the exercise of the power conferred on the Electoral Commission by Article blah 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 2020. And this is a period of COVID, because COVID was declared on the 12th of March 2020. After that, we saw borders closed across many areas in our country. So those who lived in Togo, Cote d'Ivoire, etc., couldn't come in, even if they were Ghanaians, to come and register for the 2020 voter registration period. So there could be some Ghanaians who are living in outside our country who are not in the current register. Now, if you want to come to be registered for the 2020 or 2024 elections, then you need only the Ghana card, according to a new CI draft that's before Parliament. However, the current CI says that all you need is a passport, a national identification card, one voter registration identification guarantee form, and so that it means that you also need that to be completed and signed by 2 registered voters. Very easy. Very, very easy. It also enables those who are not or were not able to get their names into the register in 2020 to be registered. Mr. George, you see, this is pure. It makes a lot of sense for somebody who lives at Misega and has now decided, because the border was locked in 2020 in the name of COVID, we send armed troops to our borders to protect them. We were also registering people for the 2020 general elections at the same time. They couldn't come in. Now they want to come. We are saying that they have to procure a Ghana card. A Ghana card for which the last year, when we wanted to do a SIM registration, people had to queue for weeks and still could not get access.
Yeah, thank you. This is one of the most forward-looking decisions by the Electoral Commission of Ghana. Okay? Roland, if I need a passport as a Ghanaian, one of the basic requirements I need to get a passport is to get a birth certificate. Which institution in Ghana is responsible for birth certificates? Is it not the Births and Deaths Registry? So it's my duty to go there, procure a birth cert, and go to the passport office to get my passport as a citizen of Ghana. That is the trite knowledge everybody knows. And as a lawyer, I feel so sad that a very intelligent and knowledgeable lawyer like my brother is taking the position that he's taking. The Electoral Commission of Ghana is saying, and before I even delve into that, they in 2012 passed a law, LI 2111, LI 211, and amongst that is the mandatory usage of the NIA card. And it states in 7J that it will be used for voter registration. They passed it in 2012. They had a majority in parliament. Okay? And so when they did this, the Constitution of Ghana in Article 6 tells who a citizen is. And you're right, by going to 42, you cannot read issues about Electoral Commission without touching on 42. And he certainly touched on that. And then you go
Chapter
to
7 of the Constitution.
Thank you. You go to 46. These are that's entrenched clause.
Spells out the independence of the Electoral Commission.
Thank you very much. You get it.
So what's your position?
So the Electoral Commission says that, look, and in the modern day business outreach, we have something we call outsourcing. But this is not outsourcing. Outsourcing emphasizing expertise, okay? People with expertise in certain areas. TV3 is known for good news and all those things. There are certain other things, it's not the expertise, so they outsource it to another. Fortunately, the government of Ghana in 2006, 2007 decided that every citizen ought to have a citizen identity card. And so they established the National Identification Authority, headed by Professor Tefa, a very brilliant and effective, efficient man. You see, the EC told Parliament that the NIA has a robust system, factual, okay, for guarantor process. Before you can guarantee for somebody at the NIA, okay, you must know the person very well. Either a father, uncle, you must have that proof, okay? Now, let's go to the EC. EC, as far as guaranteeing process is concerned, is so inefficient. I have happened to be an agent at the University of Cape Coast Library in 2015 when we were doing registration. Roland, all you needed to be a guarantor was that I, as the lead agent, I get 2 TESCOM people, okay? And those other people in the communities, you get community leaders there. They come and stand at the polling station, okay? And the law says you can guarantee for 10 people. So those 2 people will guarantee for 10 people on the say-so of me, because I suspect Roland is likely to tilt towards the MPP, so guarantee for him. The person doing guaranteeing doesn't know Roland from Adam. And when there's a challenge and he's brought to the arbitration center, he doesn't even remember that he even guaranteed for you. Is that what we want to continue with? And that led to the registration of foreigners and minors. The EC is simply saying, look, the passport is still in use to identify you as a citizen. The guarantor system is still in use. But this time, a different national body is in charge of that. Before you can guarantee for somebody, you must swear. The commissioner of oath is there, isn't it? Okay? You must swear an oath that indeed you know this person. Let's use that. So the EC is saying, go to the NIA, use all the basic things that you have problem with us. Take it. Guarantor,
NIA that was not able to provide thousands
he even said
of
the NIA
people
had
Ghana card to do basic SIM registration last year.
No.
What is no?
No. Look, the NIA started work in 2007 thereabout. By the time President Kufuor left, they took over and virtually abandoned the NIA. Registered some people and issued only a few, about 2-point-something cards that effectively were not anything. Because the NDC is not, doesn't like the national identification process. Okay? Because it is a fact. They are not comfortable with that. Because they use a lot of foreigners. Look, both of us have stayed in the voter region. There's a deliberate effort by a certain political party to bring people from Togo to register in Ghana. It's
reckless comment.
A known fact.
Completely reckless.
So you and I have lived in a voter region. We know that.
Do I get it then?
Reckless.
Do I get it then?
Let me make my point. Yes, go on.
So do I get it then that there's a certain certainty and guarantee that there are no foreigners having Ghana card.
Oh no, the Ghana card itself is made room for foreigners.
No.
It is. Let me tell you.
I'm saying that. Do you?
He's a lawyer. He knows
do I
this.
have it then that you have a certain certainty and assurance that
Of
there
course.
are no
When you go
foreigners
through-
having Ghana card impersonating as Ghanaians?
It will be, if even there will be, it will be very minimal compared to the EC process.
What's your point
Very
in
minimal.
there,
Now
then?
let me. So the
Impersonation
EC
is
says,
impersonation.
No, the EC says, yeah, that's why when we're using the health insurance and my boss Abu Ramadan went to the Supreme Court to question that. I was so excited. Okay, so let's make we are building a nation. Let's allow citizens to have their citizen identity card and carry themselves as such. She says that go to NIA, get this guarantor system, passport, take it to NIA. Then get the Ghana card. Once you get the Ghana card, you come as we speak. He agreed that about 17 million people have been registered by the NIA. Okay? And out of that, about 60 million of them are Ghanaians. About 541,000 of them are yet to get their cards, and there are challenges. As we speak, we are expecting about 2 million people who have attained the age 18 and above to register, okay, on the NIA. So allow the process to go on, okay? That is what the EC is saying, that there's a system for you to get your Ghana card. Go get it. The issue will be that because of the difficulties NIA has been facing financially, fortunately, when the EC was brought to Parliament and the finance minister was also brought, and Professor
Which
Atefa,
finance minister? Our finance minister?
yes, our finance minister.
What did he say?
No, he went there and gave assurance that yes, there's Professor
Our finance
Atefa.
minister who cannot give the health minister money to buy vaccines.
They will not go to IMF.
There's a finance minister that gave $120 million in advance for COVID vaccines.
Will not go
And
to
you
IMF.
were talking. You were crying. Okay? When to get COVID vaccine was an issue.
You saw the COVID you saw the COVID audit.
Yes, I saw it. And I didn't see why
Are you
people are
saying
saying
that
the 81 million
the assurance
was
from the
scandalous.
finance
What was the
minister
scandalous? Yes.
is the assurance on which we are depending to indicate that the National Identification Authority will be giving consistent funding?
He has
Based
given
on-
assurance.
Roland.
Please. I was here when you were making your mutantis mutandis
so that you can,
argument.
so that you can help me. We're talking about the George is saying he's a political. No, just a question. 30 seconds. George, if you look at the NIA guarantor system,
Yes.
there's no one to challenge it.
What do you mean there's no one?
There's
to
no
challenge
one.
it? Why?
When I say there's no one, when it comes to voter registration, the agents of the two political parties are always present.
And I tell you, it's so inefficient and decrepit.
But with the
telling you on
NIA, there's
authority.
no search.
I'm telling you, what
And
do
you
you
are
mean
saying
there's
that
no
that
one?
is
Guarantee
robust.
That's why there's a commissioner of vote.
There's no doubt.
That's why there's a commissioner
challenged
of vote.
you?
That's
At the time you went there, who challenged you?
Because
Why do you have commissioners of vote?
It doesn't matter.
No,
But
why
even
do
with
you
the
have
voter
commissioner of
register,
vote? You're a
that's it.
lawyer. Why do you have commissioners of vote?
So you can
There's
get
a
a commissioner of
guys,
vote incorporated.
If you
Guys,
deceive the state,
guys,
you can be
George,
charged for
So
that.
incorporate it into
George
the
and
new
Ebiji, you are
CR.
sweating this morning. Please bring there some water.
Thank
You're
you.
relaxing.
Let's go. Yeah.
So incorporate it into the new CR.
Lawyer. You see that we've
It's okay.
passed the argument you were
That's
making. It doesn't have
let's
legs.
put this on
You get
the
it?
screen.
Let's incorporate
Let's
it.
put this on the screens.
Go to NIA,
Because
get your card.
Mr. George, you see, is giving out the assurance that there's some negligible number of foreigners who are also having Ghana card. The other argument is that we have foreigners who are also in possession of Ghanaian passports. Foreigners, all in charge of or in possession of Ghanaian documentation. If that is the case, why is it that you don't allow an additional
Layer.
There is. It's already there.
So we pick this
Go to
from
NIA
online.
with it.
We pick
to
this from
NIA.
online, and this one is from the NIA's own website.
Yes.
You read it, and it talks about an individual. Can we get it closer?
Convicted.
And he's having a Ghana card, in possession of a Ghana card, and he's not in possession of that Ghana card as a foreigner. He's in possession of that Ghana card as a Ghanaian.
Good.
Now, these are some of the concerns that have been raised. And this one is the Sokori Mampon District Magistrate sentencing Usman Emmanuel A resident of Sawaba, Kumasi, a Nigerian, for falsely representing himself as a Ghanaian to acquire a Ghana card
so
contract.
it defeats your argument.
No, I agree that negligible.
Negligible.
You agreed, and that was
Is that not why we went to court in Abu Ramadan to make sure that the Electoral Commission removed? And how many people did the Electoral Commission? Was it 20,000 people or 40,000?
We are saying that go to
out of 30 million.
Go to NIA. They have a robust system. Go through it with your passport. Whether the passport is a Ghanaian passport or not, you just go there. They have a way to authenticate that indeed you're a Ghanaian.
Okay.
Then you come for your voter card.
Okay.
Simplicity.
All
I
right.
think that is the most
In the next 10 minutes, I
in
want
this
us-
modern time.
in the next 10 minutes-
Progressive decision by the lawyer and the political scientist, Professor Dr. Bossman.
So you're saying that
Jane
using
Mensah
the Ghana card
and
solely,
Tete.
it's good?
Fantastic.
Okay.
There's an avenue for those who don't have to go get it.
Why
That's all.
do you think then Kenny Japan seems to be raising concerns then?
Oh no, he is entitled to his opinion that, maybe the way I understand it, his appreciation is completely different.
You are saying that Kenny Japan
No, I'm saying that
has a
the
poor
way-
appreciation of the issues.
No, I'm saying the way I understand and
Mr. George,
appreciate
is that
it.
what you are saying?
I said the way I understand and appreciate it is entirely different from his understanding and appreciation, right? And I am saying that because of my appreciation and understanding of the LI 2111, okay, 7G, mandatory use of the Ghana card, and my understanding that I can use my guarantor process and then my passport to NIA to get the Ghana card and go register. There's nothing that is going to prevent me as a citizen of Ghana of 18 and of sound mind to go and register as a voter.
Right.
And voting registration is going to be continuous. Okay? My son got 18 years. Was going to get in November of last 2020 election, and yet he couldn't register, okay, because the registered limited thing was around May, June, thereabout. So he was cut out.
Eduje.
So we have limited. By October, you close it, and then we do processes.
If we have the substantive,
Fantastic move.
Ghana card, according to him, it makes no sense. We've invested in NIA, so why not?
So,
You see, the right to vote.
Only he says that only you and Kenny Japan are disagreeing.
So you see the
no,
right.
no,
You see-
it's not him alone.
But today you've heated up. You are wiping your face.
You see. It is only people who wants to, as it were, with a grand agenda
What's grand?
to disenfranchise people, to limit,
How is that disenfranchisement going to happen?
because you see, if you pick the current instrument, it has
People are always disenfranchised.
three issues that we need to examine. One had to do with the fact that the regulation permits registrations only in the district offices. Terrible. You just showed a video.
No,
Look at a
the
place like
limiter- the
Makango.
limiter
Please,
hasn't
please,
cancelled.
please.
The
If you
limiter
look at a
registration
place
is
like
still in place.
Makango,
Makango, yeah.
Yes.
right? Makango. Or you go to a place like Daboya Makregu.
Yes.
We have done an analysis that shows that from a typical village to the district office of the EC is about 85 kilometers. And so if you are asking someone who has just turned 18 to do 85 kilometers in order to get voter's card, you are placing impediment on the way of the person. In any case,
What are the duties of
in
a
any
citizen?
case, the Electoral Commission just in 2020 acquired a lot of BVDs, the machines, all over the country. Why can't you deploy the same machine in the various electoral areas where the last registration took place? Very simple. Unless someone who is diabolical, mischievous, and desirous of undermining the gains that we have made as far as Ghana's democracy is concerned. That's aside. Now you are saying that it is only Ghana card without which. Now you see, if you are saying that the enjoyment of a political right, like the right to vote, right, is not dependent on the output of another person. The output of that person, Jane Mensah does not control. So as we speak, the National Identification Authority actually went to Parliament and informed Parliament that one of the things that had actually inhibited their registration process is connectivity issue. even
What has that got to do with this? The NIA says I have the database, I have everything.
no, what they are not telling you is that
Typical
their inability to issue the card is also being hampered by the fact that you see
Connectivity issues.
Connectivity issues.
Which hampers also the electoral commission.
Absolutely. So how then do you say that a document, the production of which is challenged by all the factors that we have listed above, become the sole determinant on whether someone enters our voters'
DC
roll?
also has the same
But you
challenges.
see, like I told you, I have looked at comparative analysis. If you go to the UK to
noticed.
vote,
Yes.
even your driver's license can be the basis for you to vote in the UK.
They have advanced.
What advance? You are getting towards there.
Democracy
But
has
anytime you are
advanced.
moving, but you see, it is a thing with the MPP. Anytime they are in
But
power,
what about the MPP?
anytime they are in power, they come with this fetish that they are quote unquote undesirables on our register who must be removed. So in 2020, if you recall,
And it was good.
Mr. Akufo-Addo, under the guise of COVID-19 restriction, ensured that all our borders were closed, correct?
And I have relatives who haven't registered.
And if you notice, for the first time in our voter registration exercise, military men were deployed in the voter region. And the
The
places
border towns.
all through Ahamansu, right to Damanku, Tinjase, and all those areas.
Yes.
The same applies to
Yes.
our western borders.
Yes.
The same applies to our northern borders.
Protecting the territorial integrity is a
So,
constitutional
hold on.
matter.
So what it means is that in 2020, with your new CI 126, foreigners were not allowed in, correct?
That's the assumption.
Exactly. So why are you changing the law? And remember, that CI 126 was made by this same Jane Mensah,
But who says they cannot
where she
revise
allowed
their
passports,
CIs?
where she allowed the guarantor system. Like I pointed out, in the electoral commission process of guarantee,
Roland has showed the CI 91.
please, the reps of the political parties are always present.
replaced by CI
Correct.
126.
They are there.
Yes.
And so they are able to scrutinize the process. The NIA system, who is there to check
says
your
you can't
guarantor?
go and be there?
The guarantor system. Nobody.
But if-
So if you are even looking at robust,
So the NIA system, and I've done two guarantee systems, or two guarantee activities.
Right.
Thank you.
Because I'm already authenticated and in a database of the NIA. The NIA doesn't need anybody to come and authenticate that I
No.
am the bearer.
No, read-
so
if you
they
read-
do the verification. They
No.
do the verification of my documentation. That is the Ghana card, and
Sure.
then I do the guarantee.
so we are saying that
That's it.
if that is
That's
the
a
same,
source.
if that is the same, and you are saying it's robust, then lift the law as pertaining within the national identification legislation right into this new CI.
Let it sit on it.
So that
It is-
it comes
yeah,
to sit
ask for
on
them.
it.
It is
to allow-
inherently there.
Oh, please, please. You are saying that because your
lawyer.
guarantor system in the new, the OCI is not robust.
Yes.
And so you want to take it all out.
Yes.
Then we are saying that you can't take it all out because there is a guarantor system within the NIA that produces a Ghana card that you want to use as a sole card.
What is
So-
the NDC's fear?
Yes, I don't
Okay,
know.
so
They don't
this is
have
the
any
NDC's
fear.
fear. As a social
Want
democratic
foreigners
party,
to vote.
we believe that as many of our people should have a say in who become either our MP, an assemblyman, or the president of the Republic of Ghana. Because for the barest minimum within the social democratic ethos is the fact that the individual, whether common or mighty, is the same, equality. But our friends in the MPP always want an elite voters register.
Why?
An elite voters register. A voters register that limits people. But you see, what they do is that they use fear by telling all others that, oh, this person is not a Ghanaian. I mean, if you recall, before 2016 election, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia did a press conference whereupon he said that they have found 75,000 Ghanaians who are Togolese on our voters register.
Factual.
So it has been the consistent xenophobic agenda of the MPP to incite that all other persons from our borders are foreigners. They are the only people who are not. So my brother here, prima facie, sees me, possibly, I'm just for the sake of argument.
See, are you a
He sees me, prima facie, as a foreigner.
No.
Unless I establish to him that, oh, my mom is a Krachi woman, my dad is an Ewe, before you believe me. But you see, he, by reason of just saying that I am a Yisi, prima facie, he's a Ghanaian.
Oh, come on.
And so that has been the NPP conversation consistently.
So those are your fears.
It's not our fear, because
let's
it's
assure
a clear and present danger. And let me say this. You see, the 2024 election provides this country an avenue to correct a generational mistake.
What is a generational mistake?
Oh, this problem
the time is going
that is on this country. So, in order to correct it, their biggest fear is that the more people on the register, the more terrible it becomes for them.
Okay.
And so then
Roland,
they have to what?
Mr. Issei.
Impede
Yes,
people.
Roland.
What is Eduji saying
Yes.
that Mr. Kenny Japong, a stalwart of your party, is not saying? Because
No.
Mr. Kenny Japong
Yes.
is worried that the question about who is a Ghanaian is being truncated.
Constitution. No,
And
it's not
Ro,
so.
just 30
It's not
seconds.
so.
Ro, do you know that when my
no,
brother goes to US now and he gets to any of the airports, the first document that he will show,
Ghana card.
no, will be his passport to show that he's a Ghanaian.
Yes.
His passport. So when he travels outside, he openly shows his Ghana passport.
And it's same
as
here.
Proof.
It's same today.
As proof that he's a Ghanaian.
Same.
But he cannot use the same passport as proof that he's a Ghanaian for the purpose of getting onto the plane. And if you don't see
you're
the
getting
illogic,
it wrong.
I have a problem.
It's not
So
illogical.
you
It's not
got my
illogical.
question.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes. Look, I have said, and I've debunked the fears and positions of the Honorable Lawyer Eduji, that they should.
Kenny Japong also has raised.
Yeah, and I said
same
his
fears.
his fears is you
His
know,
is better.
No. It's taken care of. It's taken care of by the scrutinous process of the NIA to get you the NIA card. And the base document, which is your passport, which identifies you, I agree with him that your passport is your identity document, okay? But what the EC is saying is that I'm not going to work on passport as your identity. There's a body in the country. Go there and then, do you know they are worried? Then this is fear. When the NIA thing was starting, they asked their people not to go and register. You remember that? The General Secretary told them they shouldn't go and register. And when they saw that, no, the way things are going, they were going to get themselves out of the process. Then they started going in. Even before then, the big guys in the NDC had all gotten their ID card. Look, again, let's come to the matter proper. When we did the registration, EC did the registration in 2020, how market difference or marked difference was there between the old one and the new one?
So
the
why-
old one was having about 15 point something.
So
or
why did we do
16.
the registration?
No,
Exactly.
no, because we wanted to get certain.
Because you're self-indicting your own
No,
argument.
I'm not indicting. I'm not indicting.
You're self-indicting your own argument. That's
No,
what I'm
we are solidifying it. Okay, and we close the borders. Okay, but we got
Because I
around
remember vividly,
17
we know
million.
the projected number that will be in the new register.
No, if we
based
had
on-
not done that, we're having about 15 point something, almost 16 million, and we're anticipating about 2.5 and co. Okay,
So we'll go over
or
17
3
million.
So it was going to shoot up to about 18 or so million. You get it? So these are matters that we need to look at. Please, let's all appreciate the position of the EC. It's not any
Using
mischievous
Ghana
position.
card as the sole means by which you can onwardly get someone to
Yes,
Seriously.
because there's an avenue for you. If you know you are a Ghanaian citizen, go to the NIA. What they should be talking
George,
about.
what is wrong
my
with the
brother,
passport?
My brother, Honorable Akando,
What is wrong with the
my
passport?
brother,
No,
lawyer
Mr. Eduji.
Mahama
No, ask
Yariga,
him.
the brilliant Harun Idrisu, and others in Parliament. They know what's up. Okay, they know what they need to be ensuring is that the government resources the NIA to do their work. And if there's evidence, they've been making the evidence that their strongholds, they were like basic attitude of the NIA. They are not factual. Okay, if you have the evidence, table it in the August House
What
of
is wrong with
Parliament,
the
okay,
passports?
and let the people go. No, there's nothing wrong
So-
with it. You can
so
use
your
the
point is
passport,
that-
but go to NIA.
Your point is that
When I need a passport, look.
So
if
your
I want
point
to
is that
travel to
if
the
you
UK
really
tomorrow,
want, if you really want,
and my passport is expired, I cannot go.
Yeah, but you
Two
can't
of
use
us.
an expired passport to get your
Cannot
voter's
go.
card.
So
Can
there's
you?
a way I had to go and renew my passport. Okay? Why? In this way, if you have a passport, if you have a guarantor, they've not denied anybody that. But they are saying, instead of going to EC to do that, there's an NIA. Go there and do it. Get
With
your
the
Ghana card
logistical
and bring
problems.
it. That's-
With the logistical problems.
These ones are transient. Okay? There's assurance that we'll get the resources to do what we ought to do. You must checkmate the NIA and the EC and co to ensure that every Ghanaian gets the NIA card.
Do you know? Do you
Because
know?
you passed the
Mr.
LI
George,
2111.
You see, the poverty of logic is the
There's no poverty at all.
Mr.
It is
George,
rich.
poverty of
Mr.
logic.
George,
It's depend your
Mr.
yes.
George, I've known you for a lot
Yes,
of time.
yes.
When I mean, you used to work in education. We work
There's
with
a place I
Bright
need to
Appear,
work. Yes,
Child
yes,
Rights
yes.
International.
Yes,
We used to.
yes. Good morning to Bright.
Yes, we used to.
very good
He's
friend.
one,
Yes.
our brother.
Oh, you are mutual friends.
Yes.
Okay, so 3 mutual friends of Bright Appear,
Yes.
Child
You
Rights
there, you are his
International.
body buddy.
Yeah. So the thing is that many of the areas that we traveled to were very rural.
Yeah.
Getting access to. Yeah, okay, it's good that you've lived in a rural area.
Ancestry I contomra.
I'm
Mate,
surprised.
Mate,
I say so. I'm surprised.
the reality
You
is,
and I belong to a certain,
the
you know,
reality
yes.
is that
Don't join
you are
these
banging,
airport
you are,
residential
you are
people.
banging your hopes on the NIA, which gave an assurance that it can provide a database to be a backup for the Electoral Commission to undertake its voter registration.
Yeah.
But the NIA, in the heat of the same registration last year, came out publicly to say that they were not set up to be doing bulk registration the way the cards were needed.
Exactly.
We are in March. Today is March 13, 2023.
Yes.
Supposing, and the projection is that we'll get how many more? 2.5 million people
Yes,
more
yes.
in the register.
Yes.
So from now to when? Is it June of 2024?
By October.
No, because the register has to be exhibited.
so-
It goes
yes,
through.
it's- so it's
60
October.
days
Yes.
before.
Yes,
Yes, so
we,
by
we
October,
know
see.
we know what
Yes.
the demands are
Yeah.
of the law for the
Yes.
register to be
Yes.
available. It has to be
Yes.
displayed
Yes.
then before it
Yes.
is ready and given
Yeah.
to the political parties or the stakeholders. Okay. You are saying that 2.5 million new people that we expect to be in the register, the National Identification Authority, in addition to all the problems that it has and the assurances it's giving, will be able to give us those cards.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Once they are resourced, because the professor had said they have.
Is that
funding
not the
challenges.
problem?
No. And the finance minister, why do you want to admit the professor's challenges, and yet you don't want to admit the assurance of the finance minister? I
Because
don't
the finance
understand
minister has shown they
I
are taking
don't
us to the
understand
IMF.
that. No, even in COVID year, we
The
found
finance
resources
minister
to-
has done everything
listen,
to take us to
even
the
in
IMF.
COVID year.
Have you had a haircut before? Do you have friends who have had?
come on. We are still paying workers. Huh? We are not queuing for fuel in Ghana. Okay? So, even in COVID year, we did new register. Okay? And we had elections.
Yes, with
okay?
the-
But let me come to the issue that you put on
Okay.
the table. Very nice analogy.
You're contradicting
And my
your arguments, that's why I'm
No, I'm not contradicting anything. My brother had made the argument that people 85 kilometers away from the district capital, and the same people every week move to the district capital for market days. The same people move from every month, go to the district capital to get their salaries.
You know Krachi-
When I was in
you know
Akontomra,
Krachi West.
I started schooling
Yes, I
in
know.
Ketepachi.
You know Krachi
I know.
I started
No, wait,
schooling
Look
wait,
at
no,
the
no, no.
island
Please.
community.
Please.
Look at the
And
island
when they
community.
need it, they'll come. These people
you see,
come
you
to
don't
selfish.
So you are saying that they
These
should make
people
sure
come to
they should make
selfish.
sure
the
people
duties
get-
of a citizen.
Okay.
The
seriously?
thing must be there. And two, I understand. I stand to be corrected if lawyer is aware of a contra view. I understand that. It doesn't mean all those who have registered already are going to re-register. No.
Nobody
We are looking
has
at
said
the
that.
This is
2.5.
Nobody has
onward.
said that.
This is onward registration.
Good.
Nobody has said that.
So it's like
that
continuous
even
registration.
That even gives the NIA space. I agree with Professor Tefa. He says they have their own pace of doing their work. Okay? The 2.5 million,
So
if they know the exigencies of the time and they know
Roland.
their duties as citizens,
Roland.
that they want to vote,
Roland.
okay? They will make all the effort
Roland,
to
you
be
know
there.
that by
and
September-
continuous. Oh, please, continuous.
Assemblymen,
Every year,
their tenure comes
people
to
are
an end.
disenfranchised. You
There
know
must
that
be an election.
because when there's limited registration and I'm out of the Ghanaian jurisdiction, okay, and within the 3 or 4 weeks that they do it, if I come back, I'm out.
Yes.
What are we talking about? Okay, so please,
Edwin.
this is good conscience and common
The
sense.
Electoral Commission and Mr. George says it's possible.
That is it.
You see,
Whip up people within constituencies, etc., to go and register.
as we speak,
Places, they are not.
the tenor
Get
of assemblymen are going to
Of
is
course,
coming to an
of
end.
course, they'll vote.
By law, the Electoral Commission is to conduct local assembly elections.
They call it district level elections.
Yes.
Yes.
What it means is that 18 persons who have turned 18 already need to participate in
Ideally.
that election.
Ideally.
But the EC is using this particular instrument,
If passed.
which is yet
It's
to be
not
passed.
passed. It's not passed.
No, listen.
No, you're
I said
jumping before
the
that.
only reason why they have
We
not
only
done the
see our
continuous.
126.
Oh, hold on.
As of
The
now.
reason why they have not done continuous registration since 2020, the last time they did the voters register from 2021 to date, is simply because they want this instrument matured.
Yes.
So they are using the fact that this instrument has not been laid to deny people the opportunity. In any case, the question of continuous registration has already been decided by the Supreme Court in the case of Tenadi versus the Electoral Commission and the Attorney General. You don't need a constitutional instrument to implement a decision of the Supreme Court. So you cannot say that because you do not have this instrument.
Why don't you
cannot
go to the Supreme Court again?
Please.
On
Why
CI,
should I?
on
When the
CI,
Supreme Court
the
has
new
decided
CI.
the matter already.
But
well,
the
this-
Electoral Commission is an independent body.
Yes.
It
No,
operates
but
on its
subject
own.
to
If
the
you disagree,
orders of the
go to
court.
court.
The orders of the Supreme Court made in 1996 in the case of Tenadi versus Attorney General had not elapsed by reason of time. So you don't need to go back to the Supreme Court to have that law.
But the Electoral
enforced.
Commission hasn't told you it doesn't have a register. It has a register.
No. But persons who turn 18 are supposed to participate in
Yes,
the
and
assembly
they will
Ideally.
election.
participate.
So the,
It's not an
so the Electoral
ideal.
Commission says that
You
pass,
see, don't
pass
you-
the CI for me and let me go and use it to
Don't do it.
register.
Until then, what happens? There's an
126
enabling
is there.
instrument that
Until
allows
then,
you.
126
And
is
incidentally,
operational.
that
126 is
instrument
operational.
was made by
91
the
is
same
there.
Electoral Commission.
Yes.
That instrument was not made by Charlotte Osei. That instrument was not made by Farijan. That instrument, CI 126, was made by this same
Okay.
Electoral Commission.
Okay.
But you see,
Achina,
Roland,
Nana
tell you,
Achina,
why is he not insisting
Nana-
that we still
Nana-
use opaque
Nana-
ballot box today?
Wait, Nana Achina brain
92,
to
that's what we used.
Please listen. Nana Achina brain to
Yes.
a member of the Ebuakwa North constituency says, I should ask you how sure you are that the NIA card is going to be available and that the hardship and deplorable state of people's pockets is a clear
But that hasn't
issue that
denied
needs to be looked at.
strategic government agencies' resources, like the EC. NIA has gone to Parliament.
see, when
and
I-
Parliament has listened to them. And he's tabled his challenges.
Roland.
That he needs the funding
Roland.
to
Yes,
do
sir.
the
Roland,
thing.
do you know that-
Parliament is
do you know
interested
that
in the whole thing.
the
So
three
they are
of
going
us
to
here-
ensure
the
that
three of us
resources
here-
is disbursed. The finance minister was
with
all
the
there. And
benefit
he's
of
assured us.
250
So what are
Ghana
we talking
cedis,
about?
with the benefit of 250
What are we talking
Ghana
about?
cedis, do you know we can get Ghana card possibly today?
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
So when I say that we are looking towards
That's for the
creating-
special-
Yes, special. So when I say that we are looking towards getting an elite voters register, do you see the basis?
There were free ones
Because-
and people didn't go.
No, it is not. People
Even
did.
rural
Hold on.
communities.
I say, calm down. In the rural areas, the cars
Today,
were,
interjecting power.
you see,
no,
people actually.
I hope Mr. Nyagba
Roland,
is watching.
Roland, people actually register, but they are yet to get their card. How do you blame such a person? The
will
person
get
has in
it.
fact registered.
Yes. Okay.
But he's yet. Do you know that as we speak, even the hard card, when it came, for almost 2 months, they were locked up in the bonded warehouse because they didn't have money to pay for duty.
That's what we are saying.
It is not that Ken Oforiatta, as usual,
Thank
with
you.
his mouth, is giving assurance. But this is the man who said, I won't go to IMF. He's done that.
Oh,
This is the
please.
man who said, there will not be any haircut. There is haircut.
please.
So how do you believe the assurances of such dishonest people when they
who
speak
is
to you?
dishonest? We are very
Your
honest,
president
and
spoke
we've
to the
never
whole
been
country that
reckless
there
in
shall not be.
borrowing.
Okay, guys.
We've done phenomenal
Guys.
projects, unprecedented,
All right.
and we'll
Okay.
get there.
The premise on which Abu Ramadan and I believe Gary Inimako, the legal practitioner, went to court to have NHIS
On the
holders
face of it,
Yes.
you can't see
Export.
nationality.
Expunged.
Is that
No,
on the
That
face
was
of-
one of the fantastic
oh, hold on.
decisions.
Oi, boss.
They were not happy.
Okay. Can we foresee a possibility where we'll have this CI passed? Somebody will go to court and say, there are people who are on the current register who were registered based on a guarantee system that has been annulled by a new law?
Okay, so
What's the difference?
Okay, so this is the difference. In the Abu Ramadan, you know the Abu Ramadan is 1 and 2.
Yes.
Abu Ramadan 1 was just to get the national identification and the national health insurance card declared unconstitutional.
Yes.
And the only reason is that on the face of the national...
Everybody can get access.
No, you can't even see nationality indicated on it. So it can be given to a foreigner, it can be given to.
And
Granted.
it was done.
Granted. Then there's an Abu Ramadan number 2. Then now they come and say that, okay, there are persons who are on the roll who use the NHIS.
Exactly
card.
my point.
So now, Supreme Court, use your orders to order the deletion of persons who registered using
And I'm saying that,
the
are we
NHIS
likely
card.
to see
It
something
will never
like that?
happen.
Now, you see,
It will not.
the way our friends in the NPP operate is giving people cause to worry. In fact, I've received several messages whilst this conversation is ongoing that the only reason why J. Mensah is doing this is that eventually, and these are fears, legitimate or whatever, people are saying that because over 7 million people used either the guarantor system or the passport for the purposes of getting their voters card, we can have Abu Ramadan 2 coming or playing up again, whereupon anybody can go and say, and tomorrow there is a decision. It may be far-fetched, but these are the legitimate fears that people have expressed.
Roland.
And it's important that we get firm. And that is why we are saying that, look, what would it do to the Electoral Commission? Allow a second layer or 2 passports.
What will it do
the
to you to
guarantor
let your
system.
people go to NIA?
It's not an issue. People have already gone
This is
there.
one mate of mine is
People
asking
have
me.
gone
Let's
there
get it.
and they don't have their card. And you see, the attempt to trivialize the pain, the frustration. I mean, go to NIA office, the head office, just as Shashi here, Shashi. Go there right now and see the queue.
But those people, most of them might have registered already.
And
What's
they
your
don't
fear?
even have the card.
Yes.
They will
So
get
even
it.
those who have registered don't have it. And this same Quatrequa is promising you that I can deliver in record time for the purpose. And you see, sometimes the pain is that the people you respect,
They are not fair.
the people for the past time you have respected, either as your lecturer or something, they are given power. And the thing they do, it gives you
Can I
a
answer
certain
the question you
cause
raised?
to worry. Can I take from a Jisu, I guess? Just like all of us here, we've had the benefit of growing up in rural areas.
Yeah.
You don't come out with policies that make difficult for your fellow
It's not gonna
compatriots
be.
in the rural
It's
areas.
not going to be.
Those of us in Accra, it's easier with 250 cedis to obtain a Ghana card and onward go on to register
district
as a
offices all
voter.
over.
That's easier. But do you know what it means for someone in a rural area to use
No, they will deploy
250
to
Ghana
the
cedis?
communities again.
And that is why we
They
are
will.
saying that with the greatest respect to our policymakers, here, Jane Mensah, Bosman Asari, Kana Tefua, Akufo-Addo Bawumia.
Are we
that
going to
look,
Boku?
where we are now, we should do what is needed.
Okay.
Thank you. Let me answer the question.
Yes, there.
Anybody who
is it-
goes to the
wait,
Supreme
wait.
Court.
There's a possibility, or is there not a possibility?
It is, but there will be no legs to stand on.
Make a reference to what happened in Abu Ramadan
It's
too.
completely different.
That somebody will say that there are people who are registered
Yes.
voters
Yes.
in the
With a
current
guarantor
or in a
system.
current register
Yes.
who use a guarantor system. As a
Yes.
result of that,
Yes.
the Supreme Court needs to take a look at that.
The
Because there's precedence.
Supreme Court interprets the Constitution and our laws, right? And the laws have their spirit and the letter, right? Inherent in this thing of getting Ghana card, the Supreme Court will tell you the Ghana card, the passport and the guarantor system have not been expunged from the processes. The only thing is that
Which
instead of
judge-
EC doing it, it's another national state agency that is in charge of that. So what stops you from getting that? That's what my successful colleague mate is saying. I should ask him, what is stopping them from getting their people to go get their NIA cards?
No, but people have
What
gone
is
ahead,
stopping them?
registered,
He has-
and they
he
don't
has
have
a
the
card.
card.
Yeah, definitely.
No, but whoever it is, you should let that person appreciate
Alright.
that. People have even registered.
Yes.
And they don't have the card.
They will get it.
No,
We have about
where is the
how
assurance?
many
You know,
months?
it has been
March,
6 months.
Okay, we have up to October.
In fact, someone
This
sent
was-
me a
look,
message.
Your
Look,
duty.
someone
How
sent me a message.
and
I said for
Dr.
1 year
Kessia-
now.
No, please, Dr. Kessia,
For a
two
year now.
forces, and then my brother Akando, the UCC speaker, will do us all good if they move like they did to help in other areas.
So you're
to
saying they
ensure
should go to their
that-
constituencies and start mobilizing their people too?
Oh, no, they can do it
See,
everywhere.
Roland,
you get it.
Roland,
That
let me-
the government
Roland.
should resource the NIA as promised to do their work. You know,
Are
they
you
must-
now calling on the government?
Roland,
You keep
Roland,
contradicting
do
yourself.
Roland, do you know
Roland,
you
you're
know
not
the
being
Dija,
fair.
do you know the Dija Islands?
You're not
The
being
Dija
fair to
Islands.
me. I'm
Do you know
being
that
straight.
from the Dija Islands to Afran Place North, east of, which is Donkokru, you will spend no less than 150 Ghana cedis. So in and out, assuming you are supposed to just come to the district office, you need 300 cedis to do that.
And then
You are
commute.
asking
George
every-
is saying that your
you
people
are
should
asking-
mobilize their people.
No, he doesn't even appreciate what he's talking about.
I have
This
lived
is
in
not-
Ketekrachi.
This is
I
not
know
for
these
elite
things.
people. This is not for elite people.
I've lived in
I'm
Ketekrachi. I
giving you
know
a
these
classic
areas.
example where from the Dija Islands to Afran Place,
I've traveled from
you need
Akosombo to
150
Ketekrachi
cedis.
on the voter link. What are we
So
doing?
you're saying people should travel
And
like
so
that
if you
everywhere.
have this appreciation, how
They
are you
live
going to
there.
mobilize people?
They go for their salaries.
We can
They go for their markets.
we
They go to sell their produce.
Look,
What are we talking
let's
about?
stop this. Let's not.
But the constitution says
And
we're
you
supposed
see,
to make sure that
it's
every
there for
Ghanaian
people.
Yes.
of 18 years and above
It's
is
the
it's in Article
NIA
42.
deployed teams
So
to
why
these
are we-
communities.
why are we
The
putting
NIA deployed.
obstacles?
So that's why I said give them the
The
resources.
same NIA
Let them
that
do their
had
work.
a lot of people sweating it at
They've
Elwa.
registered 17 million already. 2.5.
I
is
went
what
to
they
cover
cannot
the
do.
Elwa people. They were
2.5 million They
sweating.
cannot do. They will do it.
Is that
Give
so,
them
right?
the resources and let them do their
All right.
work. Okay?
All right, we have
and
to-
the Supreme Court will quash anybody who goes there. That's why they are just making noise and not going anywhere.
Okay.
The
They
MP,
cannot
the
go to any
MP for
courts.
Bole Bamboy just sent me a message. He said the Bole NIA, National Identification Office, is always non-operational because they can't afford to buy power from VRA to get current. So when people go there, they are
It's
turned
funds,
back
it's
after
funds.
traveling over
Get
80
them the
kilometers.
funds.
He says
It's
everything will
fine.
be fine.
This is the MP for Bole Bamboy.
MPs have hauled the NIA boss before them. And questioned
I'm surprised
him.
you don't
He has
appreciate
answered.
these dynamics.
The court finance minister, the one who provides the solution, he was there. He assured them.
Okay.
And you
Again-
tell me Harry
again,
Idrisu
based
Honorable
on-
cannot
based on
get,
our
or my
population
friend
growth,
Abu Jinapo
we
cannot
expect
get them.
between 2.1.
Hey, John Jinapo
please.
cannot get them.
Please,
They can.
Please. Based on our
Please.
population growth, we expect between 2.1 to 2.5
Thank
million
you.
new voters in the
Thank you.
register.
Thank you.
At least by June 2024, those 2.1 million or 2.5 million new voters are expected to be in the register. Mind you, in 2020, at the time that we're doing the compilation, the borders were closed. So we have people in the Volta region who live in Togo or work in Togo might not have registered or want to come. There are people in Cote d'Ivoire who might not have, they are Ghanaians, or they have to come down, acquire a Ghana card. Okay, so
Ropa, is it working?
okay, so
The law, it's not working.
so I have this one from I have this message from
I like your appreciation of the issue.
of Obi, who says that, in my opinion, on the issue of foreigners voting, this argument is not tenable because the MPP knows that Ewes are married to Togolese, Beninois, and Nigerians more than account.
What
So
is a
the
Ghanaian?
children
No,
born by
come.
Ghanaian mothers to foreigners are being called foreigners.
But do you know
No,
that-
Roland,
Now-
my mother is from Agotime Petoe, Abenyasi. And just close to that.
You
part
are
of
just by the
family
border,
is
you know.
yes. No, half is Ghana, half is Togo.
So you should
What are you
appreciate
talking
some
about?
of this.
Isa Haku,
No, so
Isa,
that's the identity
please,
thing.
please, gentlemen. Isa Haku from Tamale says, Mr. Isi must not be made to get away with the excuse that because traders move from rural communities to the urban cities to trade or take their salaries, and so they should be able to go and register at their district
That's the
NIA
duties
offices.
of a citizen. Read the duties of a citizen.
Hey, Charlie.
And
have a
Roland,
duty.
This one is coming from Jerry Amajiro
Do you
in the
know
North
that if
Town
it has
constituency.
happened
He
to
says that he says that tell Mr. Isi to keep quiet. Not all people from the Volta region are Togolese.
Nobody
We have
says so. It's
we
not
have
people that
we
is
have
so
we have Ghanaians who are Togolese, and the Constitution of the Republic allows for dual citizenship.
No,
so what's his?
McMenu was able to prove that they are Ghanaians.
And then we have
Kojo
Bonsu from Kumasi, who says,
McMenu proved that.
who says,
What are we talking about?
we have to ensure that there's transparency in the next election. Edwin Tamaklo, thank you for joining me this morning.
Police on our register.
Georgia, you see, no fight, no fight.
The former son of a Togolese
Thank you,
president
good fight.
was declared to death.